Yes, that's why we have the Arise Women Conference 2022 on our list again today. Of course, by now, you should know. If you don't, let me tell you. Arise is a faith-based non-governmental organization committed to accelerating nation building through the empowerment of women in the society. Arise is a motion to propel the women to economic gain and power. Arise has touched thousands of women through its skills acquisition and empowerment programs and has been passionate about the health of women in the state. Well, just a second ago before we came on, Valera was reminding me that it's the awareness month for
cancer.
For cancer.
Cancer awareness month.
But I don't know if that's part of what the Arise Women are going to be doing. Let's just...
Why don't we ask them?
Exactly. Well, Mrs. Iyabo Ladipo is chairperson for 14th Annual Arise Women's Conference. Thanks for joining us this
Thank you for having us.
We also have with us Michael Ilega as well as Enke Uboruche, both of them team members. Thank you so much for being here. Truly appreciate your time. Madam, so let me ask you that question that she said I should ask you, not me.
Well, one of the important pillars of the Arise theme is healthcare, and we're particular about preventative healthcare. So cancer screening is one of the things that we do. We actually
There you go.
So we
I just asked.
is one of the
There
things.
you
So we
go.
have a medical, during the conference, we have medical screening going on. And one of the things that will go on this year as well is breast cancer screening. It's actually breast cancer month. Specifically, October is usually breast cancer month.
That's why I asked her, and she said I should ask you. So, I'm innocent of all charges.
But I believe we're here this time more about the walk. First for the walk. We'll come back after the walk to talk on the conference.
Other matters. Other matters arising.
It's only the healthy that can walk.
Yes,
So.
exactly.
So, but let's give us a general understanding or overview. It's 14th episode, you said, of this conference. So,
my colleague NK.
She has the answer to that
will
question.
talk us through on the walk.
Yeah. No, we'll come to the walk, but a general overview of the conference.
Okay, so this is the 14th edition. Arise is the brainchild of the convener, Dr. Shidri Luyomade, and she is particularly passionate about women, about nation building, about health for the families, for the entire family. About so many things. Schools, Arise has gone to schools. Arise has built, we've adopted villages. Even as in the north, and we've put in boreholes. So we're interested in health. We put in boreholes. We've put in the schools, in some of the villages that we've adopted, we built libraries, we built hospitals, we've had babies born in our Arise clinics, even in the north. We run clinics in Lagos. We have outcare patient services where we attend to those that are sick. We've run up, we have a Arise Farmers Initiative, again in the north. We have had, concerning health, like I said, we're big on preventative care. So Lagos State has partnered with us to give us the vaccination center. So we're vaccinating after COVID at our centers. We've had people come to speak to us on COVID. We have a skills empowerment academy where we teach skills so that women are empowered to help themselves and help their families. And
that's quite a list.
It is quite a list. It is quite a list.
Well, since the walk is one of the items on the conference.
Yes, it is.
You want to give us an overview? What are those things that you expect in the conference this year?
All right. The Arise Walk for Life initiative is one that is firmly hinged on one of the United Nations Sustainable Goals, which is health for all. And like she said, we're focused on preventative health, which means activities that can prevent you from coming down with anything that may want to, like a sickness that wants to come to you. And one of those, which is one of the easiest, is walking. And that is why we have that as one of the main things that we're doing. And so next Saturday, which is the 15th of October, we're having the Arise Walk for Life. And the beautiful thing about this year's own is that it's the theme is appointed to live. And that means each of us have a mandate to own our health, to be in charge of the narrative of our lives. So if you can walk, even if you have other interests, like we have things like football, we have cycling, we had a fantastic golf tournament yesterday, which was really successful. People turned out for that. Any form of sport it is that really excites you, we've put that in the package as well, you know. And the beautiful thing about it is that you don't have to, you can do it from wherever you are under our very unique system, which we have called the cluster system. So we have clusters all over the world. We have in America, we have in Asia, we have in South Africa, even in Nigeria, we have in various parts of Nigeria, in the north, in Abuja, and in the east as well. So wherever you are, you can form a cluster of a few number of people and take part in the Walk for Life, which is happening next Saturday.
Michael, I'm sure you don't have just one cluster in Lagos. So since we're talking in Lagos,
Sure.
and I mean, people who are watching now may want to join the walk on Saturday. So where are the clusters in Lagos?
Thank you so much for having us once more. Before I go into the details of all the clusters that we have, I think we're here.
There's so many.
There are a lot of clusters, not only within Lagos, in the wider nation of Nigeria. We have clusters in Akwa Ibom, in Abuja,
Yes.
Across other continents. I think we have in about 4 continents or so. We have clusters. And this all started from the pandemic a couple of years ago. Because what we normally did was, when we have our walk for life,
big walk.
we come in one neutral location and then we walk in one direction and then that was it. But the pandemic came and, you know, we couldn't gather like that number, you know, for safety. And our convener, Dr. Shiju, she said, you know what, one of the main goals, as my colleague said just now, was preventive healthcare. We need to exercise, we need to keep fit, you know, which would actually battle this virus that is going about now if we maintain a healthy lifestyle. So we decided that, look, we don't need to come to one location to actually exercise from wherever we are, because we have people from our partners from all over the world, they couldn't fly down. So Dr. Shiju said, you know what, wherever you are in the world now, do your own walk.
Yeah.
So it was from that initiative that she started about 2 years ago, so that people in America, people in the UK, people in other, you know, other nations of the world wanted to be a part of this. So they have registered their clusters, they formed, and a cluster is basically a group of people. We have clusters, we have companies that form their clusters.
Yeah.
We have estates that form their clusters. We have neutral family members that form their own clusters. And a cluster can be 5 to 25 people, you know. And
I was gonna
Maximum
ask how many
25.
people?
maximum 25 people is because we're trying to have as many as, and we have a lot of people that have registered, because sometimes we have an example of, we had a cluster in Surulere, I think last year, but they were so large that they had to form several different clusters because they wanted to be a part of this activity. And we have so many clusters, as you said, in Lagos, in different corners of Lagos. People also create their own clusters from new as well. And all this information is on our website at arisewomenng.org.
Okay. Suppose I live in an estate now and there is no cluster in my estate. I want to begin one this year. And there are about 10 of us. What do I do? Do I have to go and register my cluster?
We had this exact situation last Sunday. A gentleman approached me and he said he was based in South Africa. So he said, you know, there was no cluster. And we said, you know what, he was going to form his own cluster. And as of right now, he has his own cluster. He's gathered a couple of people. So what we do is you log on to arisewomenng.org. You fill in your details. You can either choose to join a cluster, or you can choose to form your own cluster. So you can have families that maybe they want to work together. You can have companies that want to work together. So all of this is on our website. Once you register, you will let us know if you're forming a new cluster. And anybody else that wants to now join a cluster has the option of either joining your own cluster or forming theirs as well.
Maximum 25 people.
Yes.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah. Madam, is there a specific, because if I want to walk, I could just organize members of my family without registering. So is there a specific advantage to registering, you know, to form a cluster?
Your cluster.
Or is it Michael that's going to answer that question?
Michael.
Yeah, Michael.
I thought you were going to. I thought Michael you were going to. There's a very good answer to. There's a very good
I would
advantage.
take this one.
I'm very excited about it.
I'm very happy about it as well.
Why do I feel upset myself?
Oh no, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
It's a good setup.
One of the main reasons it's very important to register is this year, to encourage everyone taking a part of this, we have special prizes for best clusters, and we have a criteria for picking a best cluster. I'm only going to speak on one of the criteria because we have a lot of information that is on our website that people can check out when they go there.
What's the website again?
The website is arisewomenng.org.
arisewomenng, one word.
Thank you. .org.
arisewomenng.org.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And one of the main reasons is we have some prizes for the best clusters this year. The first prize, or let me start from the third place. The third best prize is $1,000 to be shared across that particular cluster. The second best prize, people. Yes, sir. The second.
You want to do your calculation?
The second prize for the best cluster is about $3,000, and the first place prize.
Drum rolls.
Drum roll. If we have, I'm sure the media will give us something for the best cluster is about $5,000, and one of the great things we had last year, we had people that there's a particular couple that they've never set foot in Nigeria before. But because of how they found out what the Arise women were doing, they formed their own cluster. I believe they're in Greece or so. They had sent us their videos. We had actually posted their shirts to them. And one of the most important things for each cluster is to ensure that they have the Arise t-shirts. And as you're seeing us, we have different shirts on. I'm wearing the long sleeve, the track suit. We have the long sleeve. We have the short sleeve.
You're wearing the
we have
youth,
face clubs.
I'm wearing
for us younger people, which I'm sure I can share with you guys here today. And one thing I was going to end on is we're hoping that Sunrise will have their own live cluster
so that's
next
the website,
week Saturday.
Right?
Arise
these
Women
are
NG.
the shirts.
These are the t-shirts. These are the face caps. We have different selections. And
on your website,
on the website. So you can make a selection here. We'll send it down to you so you can be a part. And we look forward to Sunrise forming their own channels, TV cluster next Saturday to have a chance of winning these prizes.
To have a chance of winning
I think it's a great deal, you know.
Michael,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
haven't told us one criterion yet. Because the clusters would like to know what they can do to win $5,000.
No, the first criteria is you must be wearing this year's edition of the Arise t-shirt. And the face caps.
Okay.
There's a whole lot of details because we need the pictures, we need the videos to be sent to us during the walk as well, because we know everybody is across the world.
Okay.
So that's why we have steps that you can follow on our website where you can, once you register, we would communicate to us because we need to have the details of each cluster. So once you register, we have all your details. We will now get in touch with you.
How much?
Absolutely free. It
You're
is
sending
absolutely
this all
free to
over the
register.
world for free?
No, the t-shirts, no, the details for the cost of, on the website right now. So the different t-shirts and the long sleeve, the short sleeve, they're different prices.
Different prices, okay.
So you can let us know what you want and we'll get it to you before Saturday.
Okay.
And you really didn't need to come.
I was so excited because I'm sure you will want to win $5,000.
Okay, so these are the details
and
on
if
the
there are
website.
just 25 of you, can you do the calculation quickly?
I know. Some people will just have to go, they'll travel.
And it doesn't have to be 25, it can be less than that.
No, I would rather even have 5 people win $5,000.
Absolutely.
It's easier for everyone concerned. Okay, well, madam.
Yes.
At the end of the day, you know, for you, the objective is what is achieved.
Yes.
What are the objectives for this conference? I know that you've said, you know, it includes a walk, it includes, you know, breast cancer checks all across, and maybe one or two other things. What are the objectives, and why? Because there's those who are not really interested, may not be interested in the prizes, the t-shirts and all, but they're interested in the objectives, in the exact thing that the Arise Women Conference was set out by your team and the entire organization to achieve.
Well, the main objective is for the progress of our families, the sustainable progress of our families. And we believe that when a woman is well placed, well educated, knows how to protect her family, is empowered herself, we begin to move the entire nation. I mean, we've heard it before, but the truth is that we really need to do it and sustain it. a lot of times, women in particular, women's health care, women are the ones that are busy looking after the family, they're looking after everybody, and they just suddenly drop dead. Yeah. Because they're not doing what they need to do to ensure that they live long lives, live good quality lives. We're interested in the sustainable goals. Of the goals, we've been particular, we give out what we call buckets of hope. We give out the Arise bucket. It's called the pink bucket.
Pink bucket.
The pink bucket.
I was going to ask if you brought pink buckets along this year.
So we'll put Michael in the pink bucket.
We will be back. We surely will be back with our pink buckets. So we give out pink buckets of hope because they have food in them. So we're trying to eradicate poverty. You know, these goals look huge, but if everybody did something, we would be a lot better than we are. Okay. When we empower on skills, we have people that were empowered in our training sessions. We empowered them, say, 5, 6 years ago. They are trainers now. They produce, they train and they train other people. So we've lifted families. We can actually see people and families that we've lifted out of poverty. Because we've equipped them to feed themselves and to feed others. Yes. And then they come and train others. And every year there's a ripple effect. And it keeps going on. And the aim is to finally, well, improve the whole world, let's say.
Exactly. Now, NK,
yes.
Arise is doing a lot from what she has said. I mean, the list is as long as my arm.
Or longer.
But we don't get to hear a lot about this. She mentioned the what you all are doing with farmers in the north. Who is aware of that? There are many more people who would like to come on board if they knew what was going on. So, is there any grand plan for more communication of what Arise is doing and achieving?
All right, thank you so much for that question, because
so that's the question that gets your own blood boiling. Okay.
Because, you know, when you make impact, you know, our convener is very big on impact creation. The direct people that are impacted by these obviously are, you know, they understand what it is that has been put in place for them. And
they do the PR.
Well, I mean, the best PR is experiential PR. Yes. When you have gone through that experience, you can tell it to the world what it is that you've been through. But that being said also, we also have channels where all of these have been put out there. So it's just for people to go to through the right channels to be able to see more of this. And the website is one of them, which Michael has mentioned.
AriseWomenNG.org.
And our social media platforms.
I'm sure the farmer isn't going to go to no website.
That's where experiential impact comes into play. So if that farmer goes to other farmers and talks about it, what's most important is that the impact is being made, lives are being transformed, and that is the goal of the Arise Women Initiative.
Okay. Well, Madam, in closing, because we have just about a minute or two from what my directors are saying, the date again, and is there a specific venue for a specific event?
Okay. So on the 14th, yesterday we had the first golf tournament at the Koi Club. It was a huge success, and we believe we'll continue to do that every year. On the 14th, we're having a football tournament when we're going to have
the legends of the Super Eagles. They will be playing.
I need you to tell
together.
them
I'll go in that. That's fine. The legends of the Super Eagles will be playing on
Super
the 14th.
Eagles, okay. Super Eagles. That was before I was after Shegun Odegba. Because I was going to ask you, Shegun Odegba is playing.
I know.
That
we've
was
had
Green Eagles.
I know we've had a lot of.
I said after.
The legends of the Super Eagles, people like Daniel Amokachi, Peter Rufai, they've been longtime partners of the Arise Women institution for many years. We're going to have a football match with them this coming Friday. I think that's the 14th. As well as we have trials as well for younger people that want to take part of this.
You know, Nigeria, I mean, you just have to start the football. And
We have a special arrangement this year because we want to sponsor 1 or 2 very, very talented individuals to go to a particular academy, I believe in Spain, to further their careers.
You haven't answered the question of where.
Onikon Stadium. But we need people to send us their details to our website first because we need to have
before they can come to
Onikon Stadium.
Yes.
So Onikon Stadium, 14th
Of October, this
of
coming
October,
Friday.
this Friday. Saturday, the walk, 15th. Conference, 29th. Conference is at Trinity Towers. We're going to be the first big user of that huge
Facility.
multi-story edifice at, what's the address again?
I think it's Yusufu Abiodun Road.
Off Legalia.
Legalia, Yorinde.
COD Road?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't even know.
29th.
Yes.
If you know how to block your dates, please block it out of your
Yes.
calendar right now. That's how
That's how you register for the
register
walk and your cluster as well.
and your cluster and everything. All the registration that you
Hashtag
need
is
to do.
appointed to live.
All the information. It's like Michael doesn't want us to close the segment. We're closing it right now. We have to thank you very much for being here. Mrs. Iyabo Ladipo is chairperson, 4th Annual Arise Women's Conference.
14th.
14th, beg your pardon.
14th.
I saw 14th, and I'm
14th,
So the 14th Annual Arise Women's Conference, as well as NK Boruche and Michael Lega, both members of our team. Thank you all for being here.
And the website is arisewomennng, one word, .org.
Yes.
arisewomennng.org. That's where you can find out all the information that you require. That's where you can register for the walk. That's where you can also put your name down to go to the football match on Friday.
Thank you.
And they say you want to win awards. But they spoke about lifestyle.
Yes.
Well, that's another thing we're talking about after this break. Stay with us.